Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. I'm sure everyone's very busy running around. It has been a busy time. I am so grateful. I went to my holiday party last night. I work actually also part-time at a high school for a school with for students with special challenges, and it was just such a pleasure to go with a wonderful staff and to see them perform. They sang beautifully. So it was just such a pleasurable night. And I just wanted to come on and talk briefly because I know you're really busy about a topic about turning points. People always ask me, like, what was the turning point? Like, what was the turning point when you decided or when you were able to speak more fluently? What was the turning point when I decided I wasn't going to be an accountant anymore and go back to school to be a speech pathologist with very little money, even though my parents helped me, but was not easy. What was the turning point where I decided to start my own business and really specialize? Why did I just recently decide to, get into, ADHD parent coaching more? They're always asking me that. And I think this is something that I think might help some of you. Yes, I mean, I remember the turning point specifically when I did not want to be an accountant anymore. And that just happened to have been when I was an accountant for about 4 years. I was going to go back and take my CPA, and I signed up for a review course, and I sat there on a Saturday. And I also am always have been a very active person. Sometimes I do better learning if I'm more active. So I remember sitting there on a Saturday in my CPA class with maybe 300 people, and they were all sitting there and nobody was moving. And I just wanted to scream and run around, and I had already paid for it. I don't think there was any way at that time of getting my money back. And I was in the class for an hour, and I took my books and I was like, I am done. Now, I couldn't just walk out of my accounting job. I mean, I needed money. I was responsible enough. So that was my turning point where I had to at least do one thing. How was I going to move forward? So at that point, I just, started calling up universities, and I started to get information, and I went down and I had meetings. So the turning point might be that light bulb in your head, but there has to be a plan, and there has to be someone kind of helping you, or if you can do it on your own, some way of moving forward to get to the next step. The same thing as what was the turning point that I decided to, get into ADHD? Well, honestly, it's a life I have led. I have family members who have, ADHD. I've always suspected I have it also. So it was the turning point of parents asking me, honestly, what can I do? Our houses are chaotic. They're not getting their homework done. We're getting constant calls from the schools. Yes, I can, hire people. I can help my child, but how about us? How about us as a family? What is ADHD? What does it even mean? So as soon as that light bulb moment happens, there has to be a plan afterwards. So actually, I myself at one point had hired a wonderful business coach. I'll give her a shout out. Her name is Renee Matlock, and she happens to be a speech pathologist, also. But she actually taught me a lot of things that, I've been able to use with others. Moving forward, not being so hard on yourself, creating visions. What do you want? Is that really right for your child? What does the school want? Well, does that even coincide with who my child is? Is that helping us as a family unit? So sometimes the turning point, or the turning point where I just couldn't struggle so much speaking. It was such a struggle, and I had gone for intensive therapy and it wasn't working, and I just had to do things that were out of the box to get myself. So that turning point is huge in all of our lives. The question that I want to kind of bring out to all of you is, what do you do with that turning point when that moment comes and you don't know? You're like, okay, I know I don't want to do that anymore. What do I do? So anyway, that's kind of something that I help people on. But just to give you some tips to get started, because it's a crazy time of year, take a piece of paper and write down 2 things that you have to do every day. I wouldn't write down a whole New Year's resolution, because you're going to get overwhelmed. You're going to probably do nothing. Okay, so pick maybe 2 things you want to do by tomorrow, and it could be easy. You know what? I have to buy 1 more shopping gift, or I have to buy 1 more holiday gift. I have to buy 1 more bottle of wine, and that's it. And if I don't, I'll be all right. Okay, next day. You know what? I'm finding that I'm not that organized. What can I organize? So, for example, there was at one point where I have a room in the back that is a big mess, and it was causing me a lot of issues. So I went through 1 week, and every day I threw out 2 items. It could be little pieces of paper. After a week, it was clean. I could get things done. What do I do at work when I'm overwhelmed with billing? Well, all these things are kind of turning points, and we need help. I wish, I could say, I was probably the one person when I was younger, I didn't love asking for help. I have no problems, asking, and I love, helping others. So I guess my main point is that the turning point in life sometimes is that light bulb moment. And then you have to move forward from there, and you need goals, and you need visions, and you need plans. And parents, that's why I went into, I am going into more, ADHD or, even dyslexia parent training. Once you have that light bulb moment, gee, you know what, we all need help, then you can move forward. Then you can develop a plan. Then you can help you, yourself, your family, your parents. But these are turning points. So that light bulb moment has to turn into a great big light. So I might not come on for holidays. I know you're all running around. Have a really happy new year. I'm going to actually be around in and out. Next week, I actually have a few therapy sessions, and I have a few coaching calls scheduled also. So have a great new year. Don't overwhelm yourself trying to do, 1 new thing. Write down something in a journal, put it online, put it on a little, index card to remind yourself. Don't stress yourself out, because your health, your mental state of being, your clarity, your focus is what's going to get you through life. Okay? So, Merry Christmas. Have a wonderful new year. I might come back on again next week. If there's any topics you want me to discuss, I'm more than happy to. And have a great day. Bye, everybody. And thank you for watching me.